So this is the English. I've started experimenting with it for many years, 10 for the most part. I've simply played E5. Best by test, according to Bobby Fischer. I concur. Um, but C4 can be interesting. For one thing, I love the Evans Gambit and the Giuoco Piano. So by playing c4, it's also like a reverse Sicilian, and it can be like a reverse Ninsmo Indian, and things of that nature. And it plays well into the Evans Gambit and the Giuoco Piano in a bit of a more advanced form. Now, see, this is interesting. I haven't seen e6 yet, that early. But this is something that I experience against things like the French defense and the Caro-Kann for black. So, he's playing what is known as Baroque chess. It's pieces not developed beyond the third rank from each respective home position in the opening of the game. People found it to be boring. That's why we had the introduction of the development of that pawns being able to go 2 squares. That rapidly increased the positional development of the game in early stages, which really made it exciting because during the same time people started to play games with time limits. And this is interesting. I'm playing the English, well advanced on its prospective queen side, and my knights are standard position. They're not supporting. I often support in things like the Indian as with black, so considering this as a reverse for white, you'd think I would do the same, but I have not. I'm okay with that. Everything seems fine here. I think that's a nice little queen development, standard, seen in Evans Gambit, seen in Giuoco Piano, well developed into the middle game, seen in reverse defenses with black. So I'm completely comfortable with this. Bishop to b2 most likely will be my next move unless black does something surprising, but I think black's going to castle. We shall see. Okay, black does castle, so I will then play that. I could have taken advantage of the under tempo aspect of castling. Even though it's great positionally, you do drop about like a quarter to a half tempo. It's debatable how much. Okay, I do have a capture en passant opportunity, and it would not develop any sort of isolated pawn, and it wouldn't disrupt the fixed pawn position I have, holding off his fianchetto black bishop. But I'm gonna consider that a little tempo gift as well. I'm gonna try to fianchetto my bishop. I think it's gonna be handy later in the game, mostly pressuring his queenside rook. There's a lot of stuff to take care of, though, as you can see all his pawns, but he just made that a little easier. Excuse me. Okay, not as easier, but still not a problem. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I gotta kind of kick it up a little. I'm under time here. I don't like being, I think, the same amount of time as my opponent. Alright, we're gonna, I really don't do that. I like, honestly, to bring the queenside rook over and have a massive kingside rook double rank, file, penetrating ability, but we're just gonna do it that way. And you know what? I'm gonna just file up classically. He's probably going to play knight to f6 or something of that nature. I mean, that bishop needs to be fianchetto. It's got nowhere else to go other than b7 or a6, but b7 seems best in my mind. That rook needs to be opened up. The queen hasn't been developed. Yeah, see, the knight. Alright, that's pretty much what I thought. Alright, well, I'm going to take advantage of that. So now, of course, I'm targeting c6. It will also attack his queen if he does not develop his queen. I mean, a simple move would be something like queen to c7. Not the best. Okay, or to just defend with the bishop. Yeah, of course. He came up with that faster than my commentary. See, now that knight developed can be really handy. Oh, this is the guy that beat me in that last game. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I deleted that video. I have some semblance of pride left. It's a good game. Yeah, I probably should have posted it anyway. Excuse me. Okay, so now, if I were to take back with the pawn, I'd lose a rook to a queen. So we take with the rook. However, now he can push it around if he wants. I mean, I don't typically do that. It's just think he's gonna do it. All right, I see. I just think it's a little petty, though. All right, well, he doesn't have a black squared bishop, which means black squares are safe for rooks. As long as they're in black squares, no problems from the bishops. Wow, immediate push of the pawn. Very interesting. Alright. Just going to do a little repositioning. I have a bit of a tempo advantage, but I've kind of used it up now. We're even on material. Dead even. Position, I'd say I'm slightly more advanced, so I'm fairly confident in my game. Everything's connected. Black square, well, with the exception of that one rook, but black squares, you know. That's interesting. Okay, so what's great about that is my queen does attack his bishop at b7. That bishop's on pre, and I have a mate in one threat at g7. So, pretty sure he lost that bishop. I could look at it a little bit more, but it's just my instinct. I don't think he has an out. Let's see what he does. Let's hope he blunders. Ah, he does have an out. That's right. He could just capture the queen. I knew I had that possibility defended. I just forgot to consider that as an out. It's interesting. I'm going to give check. I'm hoping he plays h8. Didn't think he was going to. However, that does help me win a pawn. Okay, see now, he needs his bishop on that long diagonal. So he's got g2 squared up, but he can't. His pawn's there and mine's impeding it. However, he can bring his rook to c2. But then I can do things with my black bishop. It's not a black square. However, I have to watch out for b4 pawn. It is passed. Okay, so we're going to give check here. Now, when he plays king e8, I'll try and give check at f8. Alright. So I'm going to try to give check. Now, if he captures the bishop, I get his bishop. If he doesn't, I got to come up with something else. I'm trying to play a little time here. I'm trying to play fast because I have about a 30-second advantage. Alright, so he does do that. So that's fine. So now he's going to want to play like, yeah, that. Alright, alright, that's fine. I can come over here. I got to watch out for that. Okay. Alright, this is going to get tricky. Okay, so rook c4 would... Okay, he should have played rook c4. I'm just gonna push pawn. King can stand for a second. King's got to get in there soon, but yeah, see, all right. I needed to know where the king was gonna go. It all depended on what his king was gonna do. All right, I got about a minute advantage, so feeling pretty strong here. Oh, I didn't need to do that. He couldn't pass the 4th rank because of my rook. Alright, so now a simple move like c5 for him would be good. It would drop his b-pawn, but I don't know. It's stacked anyway. They're just almost useless one like that. Alright, he decides to give check. See, now here's the situation where I'm just going to retreat. Oh no, that might have been a blunder. Oh. He made a mistake. He should have given check. Or pushed the pawn first and then given check. I was going to try to do something in between, of course, because I saw that as a risk. Alright, I think I'll definitely promote. Let's just see what happens here. Alright, what's good is my promoting square is also a square that'll get check. Interesting. This will guarantee a promotion. I still have to watch out for that. Now watch. If he pushes that pawn, look what I'm gonna do. Alright, he's gonna freak you the fuck out. Ooh, excuse me. Pardon my language. Give check. Take the pawn out. Push to the next one. He should be crapping his pants about it now. He's probably gonna resign. Ooh, a trooper. Now I'm gonna win this by attrition. I'll tell you why. This is speed chess, and this is a situation where it is helpful to do such. He's making it easy. Yeah, alright. Cool, he resigned. Hey, sure. This is interesting. I played him in a game before as black with the Sicilian, and he did this trick, and this guy's trying to get creative. He's wasting moves. This is interesting. I typically don't like to open my king side up like this. I think I may try castling queen side in this game. Be a pretty open queenside castle as well. Not atypical. One extra tempo helps to get the king at the utmost corner at A8. It's one of the downfalls of the queenside castle is the end development of the king. Okay, so anticipating something like bishop to b5, I can play bishop to, excuse me, g5. I could play bishop to g7. Alright, so that's what we see here. I can also play bishop to e7, which would take away the pin on my queen. But I think as far as development is concerned, I don't have to worry about that at the moment. And now I am reconsidering and may castle kingside for an open kingside castle defense. It's open because of the development of those kingside pawns. You know, ideally we want these to remain on the 7th rank in this case. It would be the 2nd for white. After the kingside castling, it makes like a little fort, little castle for the king to reside in. Queenside is open by nature of simple development itself without pushing those pawns. So when you push those pawns, it makes it even, you know, more developed. Alright, so I'm going to go with a kingside castle open. However, I don't have to do it yet because he hasn't developed his bishop, so I can take advantage of that as a bit of a tempo advantage, and I'm going to play an open pawn move. This is something I typically do. If I plan on castling kingside, I push the pawns on the queen side. Alright, you may have recognized this position mirrored when I played against this opponent with white in the previous game. So we have something similar here on the queen side with black. Pretty much playing typical development. I'm going to fianchetto my bishop now. Now we've got a very oh, I just blanked. Give me a second. I'm trying to play chess here and talk at the same time. Very hyper modern setup here with the fianchetto of bishops. The knights are not necessarily hyper-modern. Often they support each other in a hyper-modern arrangement, but it's a pretty interesting blend of modern and hyper-modern advanced position. Alright, I'm going to do that. I'm still not going to castle, but it's going to happen pretty soon. Let's see what he decides to do. He should play rook to c1. Or, yeah, that's... Let's see, but then that drops the pawn at a2. He's in a bind here, which is good. For me. Okay, he does do that. I don't see this being problematic. Let's give it a try. I will pick up a pawn every now and then. I usually don't. I like to leave the pawns on pre. It's like a backup plan. Just attack, attack, attack. And in this case, castling would involve the attack, but he still needs to play at least one bishop move to castle. And that's bishop to e2. And he does try to attack a piece with his queen. I was wondering if he was going to do that. Fortunately, I can do the same for a piece of higher value. Ooh. Alright. Touche, I didn't see that. I didn't see that skewer. You may have to concede this one. He has a wicked choice. That one. It does attack the blind. I'll be fighting for my lives, friends, from here on out. Stay tuned. I'm just going to push a bit because I don't want him to take d5 and I want to use my knight at f6, so he's going to go away. Oh, he's not going away. Alright. Ooh. If I play this right, I may be able to pin his queen. What do you think, racing fans? He's got to move the queen then. The queen is technically on pre in the future. Let's see if he realizes that. So he's got to move the queen then. I does not. I don't know if he sees that he messed up. I mean, I think he made a mistake. It's up to you. What do you think, racing fans? Oh, look at that. How interesting. My first game with this gentleman was quite good. I gotta be careful with my time. Just gonna try to exploit that. I gotta win this fast. Just trying to prep the bishop. Or the rook, rather. Wow, he goes for that. I didn't think he was gonna go for that soon. So he might have been able to do something different. Good game, my friend. So this is a sacrifice of my bishop for a pawn. After he takes with his king, which he may, I would then move my pawn to c2, which he would then have to take with his knight. And then I could... he's gonna do that first. Okay. I just had to totally shift my plan. It's okay. Ooh, the knight's there. Ooh, I have 37 seconds. How exciting. Oh. A bit of a blunder. Now any movement of his rook will sacrifice his pawn at h2, which is a consideration he's probably been considering for quite some time. Okay, this... almost made a mistake there. Now I can't go king f6 because the knight to g4 check forks the queen and the rook. Oh, now I can actually do it. I have like next to no time left. Nope, same with him. It's a problem with those bishops. Not a black square. Watch this. Ha ha!